Hey, good morning guys. Welcome to this quick network nugget. Today we're going to take a look at Putty, which at a super high level is a extremely lightweight application that allows us to interact with devices on our network. We're going to use it primarily for connecting to Cisco devices. We're going to use it at a console level, so we're going to treat it like a direct cable connection into the device. This is all going to be simulated today in GNS3. If you haven't seen GNS3, I will link my video on how you can get started with GNS3 in about 5 minutes. Before we dive in, guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Almost at 900 subs, so I appreciate everyone's help in me growing this channel. Along with taking a look at Putty today, we're going to look at a few very basic Cisco IOS commands. So I've already increased the font size in Putty, so hopefully you can see this a little better. I took it from 10 point up to 16 point. But here we are in a Putty session. This is just a console session. Now this is obviously not a command, so if I hit enter, we're going to get an error there. You can clear your Putty session by right-clicking on Putty. Give me 1 second. I have to change my view there in OBS. So if you right-click at the very top left, little Putty icon, and then you go to clear session, reset terminal. That will clear out the screen for the Putty session. Excuse me. Okay, guys, so now that we have a clear screen, let me go back to our Putty only view. Actually, on second thought, let me show you one more thing while we're here. I want to show you guys how you can log your Putty session to a file. So a lot of times you're going to get a bunch of different information here. Maybe you're going to run some commands, and then when you close this window, you're going to lose all that information. Another really good reason to do this if you're working with tech support or Cisco TAC. Sometimes you'll get, some really bright folks on the line, and maybe they're running some commands that you're not familiar with, and they're just going a mile a minute explaining things. You're not going to remember all that stuff, right? Maybe you want to take advantage of some of those commands in the future. So I always recommend turning on logging on your sessions. And this is going to be a must if you need to send something, and we'll look at this command in a little bit here. Something like a show tech support. That's like think of it as like a debug file or log file for your device. You're going to send that to Cisco Tech. They'll have or tech support or TAC, if you will. A lot of times they'll have you upload that to a ticket. So if we right click again, we can go to change settings, and you'll get this little box that pops up. Now you can go to logging right here, and you're going to want to say log all session output, and then you'll just browse to wherever you want to save that. So put it on the desktop or what have you, and you can save it as, I usually give it a date, like today's date. And then if you're troubleshooting a specific issue, feel free to put that in the name as well. And then you would just click save. Once you do that, hit apply, and those will, excuse me, any changes you make here will apply to the current Putty session. So I didn't do anything, so I'm not going to do it, but that's how you would go in there and log to a file. Okay, so let's take a look at the first command for today. We'll just look at like 3 super high level commands. So a really good one, guys, that not a lot of people use is show inventory. This is going to give you another thing that TAC's going to ask for, right, is the serial number of the device. So this is going to give us our serial number right here. And then it'll show you any other hardware or inventory that exists on this device. So let's say, for example, we're dealing with a core switch. You're going to have a lot of different things in there. You're going to have supervisor cards. You're going to have power supplies. You're going to have a ton of stuff, right? Your different line cards. Excuse me. And this will give you access to see all that along with the serial numbers associated with that hardware. So this is a really good command to know, show inventory. The next command I want to show you guys is show run. That's short for show running config. This is going to show you the entire running config. And if we're logging this to a file, you essentially have a backup right now of the running config. So if you make any changes, you'll be able to compare that to the running config prior to the changes. So this is a really good thing to do, either, backup or offload your running config to a TFTP or log it to a file, so that way you have it in case you need to refer to it or revert back to it. So always do that before you make any changes in production, especially if you're working on like a core switch or something like that, right, where you have a high impact if something goes wrong. And the last one, guys, is what we talked about a minute ago, the show tech support. This can take a while to run just depending on your device. There's really nothing going on this device, and it's GNS3, so I wouldn't anticipate it taking a whole lot of time, but just be aware in production on a big network or on a, like I said, a core switch where there's a lot going on, this can take a while. So this essentially gives them the running config along with a lot of other information about the device. It's going to give you statistics on each of the interfaces. It's going to give you information about the hardware, if there's any issues going on at the processor, memory level. Excuse me. We'll let this run out, guys. I'll pause the video. I won't bore you with all the screen output. Alright guys, that took about another 3 or 4 minutes there, believe it or not, to complete the show tech support. Like I said, if we log this to a file, you now have a file or a copy of that tech support, and a lot of times you'll use this to upload to a Cisco TAC case or a tech support case to share that with the engineer at Cisco that you're working with. Very useful command and very useful bit of knowledge there to turn on logging in Putty. Alright guys, we'll keep this one short. I just wanted to give you a high level of a pro tip excuse me, on enabling logging on Putty, and then also run through 3 very basic Cisco commands. Let me know if you guys are interested in this type of stuff. I would like to perhaps make a series. I'm actually working through a series right now on Windows commands, so I was thinking maybe if you guys are interested, we can run through 25 or 30 of the most well-known or commonly used Cisco commands. So let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to drop a comment. I will reply to all of my audience comments. Have a great day, guys. Until the next one, take care.